Hey, welcome to the live. We're going to be reading from this is this was my mother's. Look at that! I found $1 in here. It's got my mother's name in there. This is her college um, text. So, what kind of goodies am I going to find in here? There's a test I took in college. 18th of October 2000. Took me 27 minutes to take it. Interesting. Anyway, thanks. Got us some people. Give me a second. All right. Well, first of all, we're gonna. Ooh, yes. That is a matter of fact what we're gonna do. It is 4011 time. So. So let's get a poem read first. So. Robinson Jeffers, Promise of Peace. The heads of strong old age are beautiful, beyond all grace of youth. They have strange, quiet integrity. They have strange, quiet integrity, health, soundness to the full. They've dealt their life and been tempted by it. A young man must not sleep. His years are war, civil and foreign. But the former's worse. But the old can breathe in safety now that they are forgetting what youth meant. The being perverse, running the fool's gauntlet and being cut by the whips of the five senses. As for me, if I should wish to live long, it were but to trade those fevers for tranquility, thinking though that's entire and sweet in the grave. How shall the dead taste the deep treasure they have? Aw, thanks, Silver Scorpion. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Catch some of the replay. Oh, I thought there was a... Three likes. We got one sticker for a banana, but you've already taken the sticker off. Well, Walt Whitman. When I heard the learned astronomer, oh, that's also was the title. When I heard the learned astronomer. When I heard the learned astronomer. When the proofs, the figures, were ranged in columns before me, when I was shown the charts and diagrams to add, divide, and measure them, when I, sitting, heard the astronomer where he lectured with much applause in the lecture room, how soon, unaccountable, I became tired and sick, till rising and gliding out I wandered off by myself in the mystical moist night air, and from time to time looked up in perfect silence at the stars. Do not. I hear America singing. I hear America singing. The varied carols I hear. Those of mechanics, each one singing his as it should be, blithe and strong. The carpenter singing his as he measures his plank or beam. The mason singing his as he makes ready for work or leaves off work. The boatman singing what belongs to him in his boat. The deckhand singing on the steamboat deck. The shoemaker singing as he sits on his bench. The hatter singing as he stands. The woodcutter's song. The plowboy's on his way in the morning or at noon, intermission, or at sundown. The delicious singing of the mother or of the young wife at home or of the girl sewing or washing, each singing what belongs to him or her and to none else. The day was what belongs to the day. At night, that the party of young fellows, robust, friendly, singing with open mouths their strong, melodious songs. We will continue in a minute. Did we have somebody else come in? Thanks for coming in. Let's have us a Coke Zero. Shout out to Marco Seats. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. You go to my homepage and you go to my featured channels. He is one of those on there. Link to his channel. Go check him out. Banana. Look at this. Perfect. Oh, it smells so good. Can you smell it? Smell that banana. Can you smell it? How's everybody doing? I'm doing fantabulous. Thanks for asking. No. Week 15 wasn't very good. Hello, Joanna. Or Johanna. Thank you. We will get back to reading some poems here in a minute. We're reading from this anthology. It's really what does it say right there? It says modern American poetry and modern British poetry, combined new and enlarged edition. My mom said it was a text. It was what she used in a class. Roughed up some of my nails last night at work. Okie dokie. I know that I have this, I think it's on NPR, and it's, what was like the American Experience or something, not NPR, PBS. NPR's the radio. Oh, see ya. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Anyway, this next poem, Recorders Ages Hence. This was written late, towards the end of Walt Whitman's life. Recorders Ages Hence. Come, I will take you down underneath this impassive exterior. I will tell you what to say of me. Publish my name and hang up my picture as that of the tenderest lover, the friend the lover's portrait, of whom his friend, his lover, was fondest, who was not proud of his songs, but of the measureless ocean of love within him, and freely poured it forth, who often walked lonesome walks, thinking of his dear friends, his lovers, who pensive, away from one he loved, often lay sleepless and dissatisfied at night, who knew too well the sick dread, lest the one he loved might secretly be indifferent to him, whose happiest days were far away through fields, in woods, on hills, he and another wandering hand in hand, they twain apart from other men, who often as he sauntered the streets, curved with his arm the shoulder of his friend, while the arm of his friend rested upon him also. I just got the whole song of myself in there. All right. When lilacs last in the dooryard bloomed. When lilacs last in the dooryard bloomed, and the great star early dropped in the western sky in the night, I mourned, and yet shall mourn with ever returning spring. Ever returning spring, Trinity sure to me you bring, lilac blooming, perennial and drooping star in the west, and thought of him I love. O powerful western fallen star, O shades of night, O moody, tearful night, O great star disappeared, O the black murk that hides the star, O cruel hands that hold me powerless, O helpless soul of me, O harsh surrounding cloud that will not free my soul. In the dooryard, fronting an old farmhouse, near the whitewashed palings, stands the lilac bush, tall, growing, with heart-shaped leaves of rich green, with many a pointed blossom, rising delicate, with the perfume strong I love, with every leaf a miracle, and from this bush in the dooryard, with delicate colored blossoms and heart-shaped leaves of rich green, a sprig with its flower I break. In the swamp, in secluded recesses, a shy and hidden bird is warbling a song. Solitary, the thrush, the hermit withdrawn to himself, avoiding the settlements, sings by himself a song, song of the bleeding throat, death's outlet, song of life. For well, dear brother, I know, if thou wast not granted to sing, thou wouldst surely die. Over the breasts of the spring, the land, amid cities, amid lanes, and through old woods, where lately the violets peeped from the ground, spotting the gray debris. That was one of the ones to look. Oh. And it keeps going on. Well, amid the grass in the fields each side of the lanes, passing the endless grass, passing the yellowed speared wheat, every grain from its shroud in the dark brown fields uprise and uprisen, passing the apple tree, blows of white and pink in the orchards, carrying a corpse to where it shall rest in the grave. Night and day journeys a coffin, coffin that passes through the lanes and streets, through day and night, with the great cloud darkening the land, with the pomp of the enlooped flags, with the cities draped in black, with the show of the states themselves as of crape veiled women standing with processions long and winding, and the flambeaux of the night, with the countless torches lit, with the silent sea of faces and the unbarred heads, with the waiting depot, the arriving coffin, and the somber faces, with dirges through the night, with the thousand voices rising strong and solemn, with all the mournful voices of the dirges poured around the coffin, the dim lit churches and the shuddering organs, where amid these you journey. Here, coffin that slowly passes, I give you my sprig of lilac, nor for you, for one alone. Blossoms and branches green, to coffins all I bring. For fresh as the morning, thus would I chant a song for you, O sane and sacred death. All over bouquets of roses, O death, I cover you over with roses and early lilies. But mostly, and now, the lilac that blooms the first, copious, I break. I break the sprigs from the bushes. With loaded arms I come, pouring for you in the coffins, all of you, O death. O western orb sailing the heaven, now I know what you must have meant as a month since I walked. As I walked in silence the transparent, shadowy night, as I saw you had something to tell, as you bent to me night after night, as you drooped from the sky low down as if to my side, while the other stars all looked on, as we wandered together the solemn night, for something I know not what kept me from sleep. As the night advanced, and I saw on the rim of the west how full you were of woe, as I stood on the rising ground in the breeze, in the cool, transparent night, as I watched where you passed and was lost in the netherward black of the night, as my soul in its trouble dissatisfied sank, as were you, sad orb, concluded, dropped in the night, and was gone. Sing on there in the swamp, O singer, bashful and tender. I hear your notes, I hear your call. I hear, I come presently, I understand you. But a moment I linger, for the lustrous star has disdained me. The star, my departing comrade, holds and detains me. Oh, how shall I warble myself for the dead one there I loved? And how shall I deck my song for the large, sweet soul that has gone? And what shall my perfume be for the grave of him I love? Sea winds blown from east and west, blown from the eastern sea and blown from the western sea, till there on the prairies meeting, these and with these and the breath of my chant, I'll perfume the grave of him I love. Oh, what shall I hang on the chamber walls? And what shall the pictures be that I hang on the walls to adorn the burial house of him I love? Pictures of growing spring and farms and houses, with the fourth month eve at sundown, and the gray smoke lucid and bright, with floods of the yellow gold of the gorgeous, indolent, sinking sun, burning, expanding the air, with the fresh, sweet herbage underfoot, and the pale green leaves of the trees prolific. In the distance, the flowing glaze, the breast of the river, with a wind dapple here and there, with ranging hills on the banks, with many a line against the sky, and shadows, and the city at hand, with dwellings so dense, and stacks of chimneys, and all the scenes of life, and the workshops and the workmen homeward returning. Lo, body and soul, this land, my own Manhattan, with spires and the sparkling and hurrying tides, and the ships, and the varied and ample land, the south and the north in the light, Ohio shores and flashing Missouri, and ever the far spreading prairies covered with grass and corn. Lo, the most excellent sun, so calm and haughty, the violent and pure morn with just felt breezes, the gentle, soft born, measureless light, the miracle spreading, bathing all, the fulfilled noon, the coming eve, delicious, and the welcome night and the stars over my cities, shining all, enveloping man and land. Sing on, sing on, you gray brown bird. Sing from the swamps, the recesses, pour your chant from the bushes. Limitless, out of the dusk, out of the cedars and pines. Sing on, dearest brother. Warble your ready song, loud human song, with voice of uttermost woe. O liquid and free and tender, O wild and loose to my soul, O wondrous singer, you only I hear, yet the star holds me, but will soon depart. Yet the lilac with mastering odor holds me. Now while I sat in the day and looked forth in the close of the day, with its light and the fields of spring and the farmers preparing their crops, in the large and conscious scenery of my land, with its lakes and forests, in the heavenly aerial beauty, after the perturbed winds, and the storms, under the arching heavens of the afternoon, swift passing, and the voices of children and women, the many moving sea tides, and I saw the ships, how they sailed, and the summer approaching with richness, and the fields all busy with labor, and the infinite separate houses, how they all went on, each with its meals and minutiae of daily usages. Oh, a little hot there. I gotta. minutia of daily usages. And the streets, how they're throbbed, and the cities pent low, then and there, falling upon them all and among them all, enveloping me with the rest, appeared the cloud, appeared the low black trail, and I knew death, its thought, and the sacred knowledge of death. Then, with the knowledge of death, as walking one side of me, and the thought of death close walking the other side of me, and I in the middle, as with companions, and as holding the hands of companions, I fled forth to the hiding, receiving night that talks not, down to the shores of the water, the path by the swamp in the dimness, to the solemn shadowy cedars and ghostly pines so still, and the singer so shy, to the rest received me. The gray brown bird I know received us comrades there, and he sang the carol of death and a verse for him I love. From deep secluded recesses, from the fragrant cedars and the ghostly pines so still, came the carol of the bird, and the charm of the carol wrapped me, as I held, as if by their hands, my comrades in the night, and the voice of my spirit tallied the song of the bird. Come, lovely and soothing death, undulate around the world, serenely arriving in the day, in the night, to all, to each, sooner or later, delicate death. Praised be the fathomless universe for life and joy, for objects and knowledge curious, and for love, sweet love. But praise for the sure enwining arms of cool, enfolding death. Dark mother, always gliding near with soft feet, have none chanted for thee a chant of fullest welcome? Then I chant it for thee. I glorify thee above all. I bring thee a song that when thou must indeed come, come unfalteringly. Approach strong deliverance. When it is so, when thou hast taken them, I joyously sing the dead, lost in the loving floating ocean of thee, laved in the flood of thy bliss, O death. From me to thee glad serenades, dances for thee I propose, saluting thee, adornments and feastings for thee, and the sights of the open landscape and the high spread sky are fitting, and life in the fields and the huge and thoughtful night. The night is silence under many a star, the ocean shore and the husky whispering wave whose voice I know, and the soul turning to thee, O vast and well veiled death, and the body gratefully nestling close to thee. Over the treetops I float thee a song, over the rising and sinking waves, over the myriad fields and the prairies wide, over the dense packed cities all, and the teeming wharfs and ways. I float this carol with joy thee, O death, to the tally of my soul, loud and strong, kept up the gray-brown bird, with pure, deliberate notes spreading, filling the night, loud in the pines and cedars dim, clear in the freshness, moist, and the swamp perfume, and I with my comrades there in the night, while my sight that was bound in my eyes unclosed, as to long panoramas of vision. And I saw askant the armies. I saw as in noiseless. I saw as in noiseless dreams hundreds of battle flags borne through the smoke of the battles and pierced with missiles. I saw them and carried hither and yon through the smoke, and torn and bloody, and at last but a few shreds left on the staffs, and all in silence, and the staffs all splintered and broken. I saw battle corpses, myriads of them, and the white skeletons of young men. I saw them. I saw the debris and debris of all the slain soldiers of the war. But I saw they were not as was thought. They themselves were fully at rest. They suffered not, the living remained, and suffered, the mother suffered, and the wife and the child and the musing comrade suffered, and the armies that remained suffered, passing the visions, passing the night, passing, unloosening the hold of my comrade's hand, passing the song of the hermit bird and the tallying song of my soul, victorious song, death's outlet song, yet varying, ever altering song, as long and wailing, yet clear the notes, rising and falling, flooding the night, sadly sinking and fainting, as warning, and yet again bursting with joy, covering the earth with filling the spread of the heaven. As that powerful psalm is the night, I heard from recesses passing, I leave thee, lilac with heart-shaped leaves. I leave thee there in the dooryard, blooming, returning with spring. I cease from my song for thee, from my gaze on thee in the west, fronting the west, communing with thee, a comrade lustrous with silver face in the night. Yet each to keep and all retrievements out of the night, the song, the wondrous chant of the gray-brown bird, and the tallying chant, the echo aroused in my soul, with the lustrous and dropping star, excuse me. I'm trying to finish here. We can do it. Drop us a like. Yet each to keep and all retrievements out of the night, the song, the wondrous chant of the gray-brown bird, and the tallying chant, the echo aroused in my soul, with the lustrous and drooping star, with the countenance full of woe, with the holding my hand, nearing the call of the bird, comrades mine and I in the mist, and their memory ever to keep, for the dead I loved so well, for the sweetest, wisest soul of all my days and lands, and this for his dear sake. Lilac and star and bird twined with the chant of my soul. There is the fragrant pines and the cedars, dusk and dim. So that was a poem when lilacs last in dooryard bloomed. So that was a poem too on the death of Abraham Lincoln. And so is this one, which is called "Oh Captain, My Captain." Oh Captain, my Captain, our fearless trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But oh heart, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Oh captain, my captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills, for you bouquets and ribboned wreaths, for you the shores a crowding, for you they call, the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, the arm beneath your head. It is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with object won. Exalt, O shore, and ring, O bells. Walk the deck, my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Pretty good. Oh. Oh. This skipped a whole bunch in this. Sorry. Well, kiddos, we've gone about 50 minutes. so much. Let me find this. From Ezra Pound. Born in Idaho. Just a couple hours that away. Salutation, O generation of the thoroughly smug and thoroughly uncomfortable. I have seen fishermen picnicking in the sun. I have seen them with untidy families. I have seen their smiles full of teeth and heard ungainly laughter. And I am happier than you are. And they were happier than I am. And the fish swim in the lake and do not even own clothes. I was going to end it on this one. In a station of the metro, the apparition of these faces in the crowd, petals on a wet black bough. Alrighty. Hey, give us a thumbs up. Yeah. Right on. Ooh. Appreciate it. Well, now I gotta find another one to read, of course. Do. Ogden Nash, the rhinoceros. The rhino is a homely beast. For human eyes, he's not a feast. But you and I will never know why nature chooses to make him so. Farewell, farewell to you, old rhinoceros. I'll stare at something less preposterous. Uh... Oh, kiddos. Play a playlist, watch some shorts, and stay tuned next week for episode 17 of Listen Well. Poetry. So where is that? Y'all have 1 minute to come in. Drop a like. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Hmm.